Welcome back, hunters, to another episode of Monster Field Guide, the show where I catalog the monsters from Monster Hunter World. Today we're finally covering my favorite monster of all time, Nergigante. Nergigante is one of the strongest Elder Dragons and is the flagship monster of Monster Hunter World, being right there on the box art, a symbol of the goals you'll have to overcome in your journey through the new world. There are a litany of reasons why I adore this monster so much, so starting off, as always, let's get to the name. Nergigante is a fairly simple name, at least compared to the last monster. Let's start with the most recognizable part, Gigante, which is simply the Spanish word for giant or large, owing to the monster's huge size. Next, the nerd part of its name, actually because it's a huge nerd. Got him! Ah! The nerd part comes from Nergal, who is the Mesopotamian god of war, death, and disease. So it's a huge god of death. Yeah, I can see that. But just how does this god of death rule over its domain? With claws and tooth, of course. Nergigante is immensely powerful, battering around its opponents with every part of its body, from crushing blows from its arms, ramming into them with their horns, tail slams, wing attacks, and even full-body tackles. Nearly nothing can withstand Nergigante, whose heightened intelligence is mainly used for lethal combat techniques. But what enables Nergigante's reckless combat is the most incredible feature it has, its regenerative abilities. This beast, known as the Black Arrow, is an incredibly durable monster, being able to endure almost any damage because it can simply regenerate those damaged areas. It prefers to take down its opponents swiftly and brutally, but any prolonged fight will inevitably end up in Nergigante's favor. This is due to the very obvious motif of the monster's design, its spikes. These spikes grow at an incredibly rapid rate. As soon as they're destroyed, the cells begin to form new spikes immediately, and as the enamel is exposed to oxygen, these begin to harden until they become a shiny black, becoming nigh unbreakable. These spikes weigh Nergigante down, so when they turn black, that's when he knows he can go all out and smash into anything at full force. And since they grow back faster when they're damaged, he's just setting himself up to demolish his opponent again if it didn't somehow obliterate them in the first place. Hell, their regeneration is so potent, it's theorized Nergigante reproduce that when one of their spikes is shot off, it contains so much energy that a new Nergigante is formed around the spike. This makes the closest comparison in terms of real life to the starfish, which can form a new starfish out of a cut off limb. That's like if I clipped off a fingernail and it grew into a new me.
Ah. Yo, Daddy-o! Where's the child support at?
I hate you.
Ah!
Now you may be asking, who are Nergigante's opponents? Well, it's other Elder Dragons. Monsters like Kushala Daora, who can create tornadoes, or Teostra, who has explosive dandruff, are the preferred prey of this insane monster. Its epithet is literally the Eater of Elders. Its theme song is Even the Elders Tremble. Valhazak is smart for never leaving its home, otherwise it would be absolutely devoured. It is the apex predator of apex predators and sits at the very top of the food chain. But its most amazing behavior is that it serves the same ecological niche as the hunters. While it could simply be taking down large threats for sustenance and to test what it can take down for future encounters, it is always there when the balance of the new world's ecosystem is in jeopardy. And for that, it will always have my respect. Lastly, Nergigante was made by the World Design Team because they wanted to make an Elder Dragon that didn't have an elemental power, making the fight a slugfest between two apex predators. You wanna go? They also wanted to demonstrate the themes of destruction and creation, with the contrast of its bold oranges and purples to its dark black scales, to its spike growth and insatiable lust for battle. That's all the time we have for Monster Field Guide. Thank you all so much for joining me on this expedition through Monster Hunter World, a game that is very near and dear to my heart. But make sure next semester to pack your winter clothes because I'm bringing you on an expedition through Monster Field Guide Iceborne. Stick around.